Alrighty, so I'm just gonna test to make sure that everything is streaming here and of course share the link with the communities. Give me one moment. Right, looks like X is live and let me double check YouTube. Anyone just joining in, uh, we'll be starting shortly, just within a few moments. And looks like YouTube is live. Just gonna make sure the chats are open. All right. As part of the process, we'll be sharing the live stream. Our communications officer is back from holiday today, so uh, this will get a little bit easier and we can just get started a lot faster. So I'm just going to share this with the Telegram group. Anyone watching, if you haven't joined the Telegram, the link is posted on X and on the website. And of course, I'm just going to share this with the X community. Another trading day. I love a good trading day. Make sure I'm doing that. Sometimes I just like my brain goes a lot faster than what my hand and mouse does. Same with on the chart, so I have to slow it down a little bit. Alrighty, so repost that. Here we go. And of course, drop that in there. I think I got all the bases covered. Thanks for tuning in. Uh, as viewers come in, please remember that the replay is always there for you. We're building the overarching market narrative from all trading perspectives. Uh, these live sessions are, for the most part, going to be available only to holders once the portal is launched. And we are hoping that by the end of the week or early next week, both the new front end website and portal is ready to go. And that means that holders will be able to log in and use essentially the AI in real time for all currency pairs on all time frames. That will be combined with the live sessions that you're seeing now. Uh, and the schedule is posted on X. We'll be updating that in the portal too, so it's nice and friendly and easy for you to use. I have posted an overview of what the portal does look like at from the past, which is being updated for Web3, Web4, with the AI and blockchain integration. Um, One of the things to note, once again, is that holders will be able to access the live sessions. Holders will be able to use the compute with tokens. We're figuring out more of the tokenomics as we discuss regulations and we discuss best practices with professionals. Um, we're also working on the marketing side of things. And every day we're getting better and better. And looking forward to continuing this indefinitely. This is a passion project for us, and we love what we do. We love to educate. We're also students of the market. So yeah, looking forward to this session. I'm gonna pass it over to IT now.
All right. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I believe you got to switch over to your chart.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Switching over now. Okay. So welcome to another week, trading week. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, okay, so let's start with the dollar index as usual. Igor,
Yeah, I'm here.
right? So, one thing that I like doing is when I'm doing the live session, I like to play some background music. Is it okay in the future?
Absolutely. It's
If I-
your session, brother.
Okay, cool. Because I like to make sure that the vibration coming out from me is going to be always positive, right? And music is one way to help change the vibration. So in the
Amazing.
future, I'll be playing music in the background and to help people understand, get out of their logical mind. Okay, cool. Let's look at the dollar index. Right now, I think last week we were expecting NFP, but I got it wrong. NFP is this week. So what I was anticipating NFP to do is what I think today is doing, which is basically reject price from this imbalance on the monthly and weekly. It actually couldn't get to the weekly imbalance. It did balance the monthly one, and then we are getting an aggressive move away from it. So, as I was anticipating, I don't think dollar index is going to continue going higher. We will be coming down. Now, from what I'm seeing, we will be trading back into this low to this high. Let me maximize it. So we will be trading back into this range here, this low to this high. And that is, of course, if today closes as it is, which I think it probably will. So by the close of today, we will be looking for price to continue going lower, right? And our first objective will be for price to trade to this down candles high. So if today closes as it is, then between tomorrow, I don't know when it will get here, but once we close, the next level price we'll try and reach for will be the 107.15 level. Okay. So if we close today, look for 107.14 level as the next downside objective for dollar index. And I presume, or I'll take it one at a time. Let's take it one at a time. I wanted to give a big forecast, but let's take it one at a time because sometimes price is so dynamic that the big forecast might not come to pass, but the short term one will always be the case. So after the short term target has been reached, then we'll take it from there. Okay. So going forward, 107.15 is the next downside objective for the dollar index. That will give you euro um, to break this weekly high. And once that is broken, I think we did learn this last week. So if we can go to the weekly chart, if we are able to close above it. Now, closing above it will depend on Friday, how NFP is going to trade. So closing above it will be maybe waiting till Friday. But if Friday closes above it, then the projection that I taught last week, you can project this to the upside and then look for the extension levels. Maybe 168 would be appropriate. So if I was to project this for you, levels. So 168 will bring us here. 127 will bring us here. So let me put the actual numbers. Right. So 0.0522 will be the next level. Then 1.0647 will be another level for price to reach for. Now, in terms of the lower time frame, the only level I see that there is going to be a bit of a challenge will be just here. But once we break the high, depending on how we trade above the high, because remember last week I mentioned that liquidity is going to be above daily highs and lows, weekly highs and lows, and monthly highs and lows. This being a weekly high, it depends on how we close above it. If we're able to close above it aggressively, like I was showing last week on, I think, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, if we can close above it aggressively, then we will be reaching for this upside objective. But if we just poke our head above it and reject, then we'll have to put that to the sidelines for now. Looking at where we are, price has been dropping for a long time. So price is very cheap. So I think pretty much we might go higher. That's what I'm anticipating. Okay. So once we go above this weekly high, maybe it might not be euro because all the majors are kind of turning around. Aussie is rejecting, New Zealand is also rejecting. So these ones might be the one that might move, and then they will keep the euro and then pound probably in a consolidation. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the crosses, especially Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand, Pound Aussie, Pound New Zealand, they have been going up for quite some time. So they might push them lower in terms of a retracement. And when that is happening, you will have the Aussie and the New Zealand being the strongest pair, and Euro and Pound being not a weak pair, but kind of maybe not moving as much as this to the Aussie and the New Zealand will be doing. So when I'm looking at the majors, I take into consideration the crosses, okay, so that you know which one you want to trade. Before, when price was going up like this, okay, that meant that euro was stronger than Aussie. Hence, when dollar was going higher, the best pair to trade was to short the Aussie and to short the New Zealand. But when this is coming down now and dollar is going down, then the best one to buy is the Aussie and the New Zealand. But we will learn more about that in future. So what I'm saying is when these break structure, okay, when they do break structure, the best ones to be in will probably be the New Zealand and the Aussie. And you might want to leave euro. If you don't like trading them, you might leave them alone and probably focus on these ones. And aside that, when you look at the seasonalities, the seasonal tendencies between January and March, the Aussie and New Zealand kind of move a little bit higher than the euro and the pound. Okay. So let's see. I think dollar index is likely to break. So you can, if you are the sort of person that trade one currency, then choose one out of these four, which is the Aussie, the Euro, the Pound, and the New Zealand. You can also trade. Now, if you see, I don't have dollar yen, dollar Swiss. I only have dollar CAD. And that's because I personally don't like dollar yen and dollar Swiss, but you can add them to it and then obviously trade them to the downside as well because dollar is the first pair. So if dollar is going down, dollar Swiss is likely, and then the dollar yen is also likely. Okay, but I don't like trading them, so I don't even look at them. But dollar CAD, yes. Dollar CAD is extremely high, so that can also come in a form of a pullback, especially on the H4. This was the area I was watching that if they go below it, then price is gonna go lower. And I think pretty much since last week or last 2 weeks, price has stayed above it. Now that they are breaking it, it's likely to now move lower a little bit. And from the high time frame perspective, is good because on the 3 months, we are aiming for this equal high. So this can be I think a medium term pair that you can look out for a retracement. So medium term pullback and then aim for this equal high, probably between February and March. I don't know where it will be, but we will be aiming for this equal high. And this might be the pullback that will take us up there. So if you like trading dollar CAD, you can short it to go into a pullback and then buy it back up to go and clear this equal high. Okay, I like this one. I'll probably take part because I like the closing above this candle. And from a, let me put it on the 6 months so you can see why. From a 6 months perspective, price is really bullish. They bought with all this down movement, right? And then they went above that down candle there. So if we were looking for a long time, we can project these down candles and then probably aim 1.155. And then this is extreme, but it can get there. That's future, right? 1.65. Okay, so that's why I do recommend this for those that like trading swing trades, short-term trade. This would be very, very good. And then for the near term right now, I think it's likely to go into a pullback. So you can look for a short to go down. Okay, so New Zealand, I think they are going above the weekly high. Now, let me go back to Solana and show you why the weekly high is important. This is the example. Once they closed above that weekly high on a daily basis, right, price never looked back. You can see it's still going higher. These two down candles are just buying. They're going to continue going higher. So the same way, the type of candle closing above the weekly high, that's what we want to see New Zealand do today. Okay, we want that weekly high to be closed above on a daily basis. And once we do, I think this one is so easy. Just project this to the upside and you get your targets. So we'll be coming to you'll be coming to the 0.5712 level and then 0.5742 level. Okay. Now, preferably, we don't want to see any pullback back below the previous week high. We don't want to see that. So the next candle ideally should open, which is tomorrow. We open and then it should shoot up again, similar to this. So you can look at how this went up. Okay, just go back and study just this area here. How this candle closed. And then the next one opened, it went down, and then it shot up. That's the same thing you want to see happen on New Zealand tomorrow. So when tomorrow opens, you want to see the candle just drop, maybe during the Asian session, and then expand up. Okay, so that is the New Zealand for you. And your upside objective is there 0.712, 0.5712, and then 0.5742. Aussie will be the same, going above that high. I don't like the Aussie. The reason why is this move down is too shallow for me. Now, when you're looking at how smart investors or institutions comes into the market, because of how much money they have, their buying should be significant. When I say significant, you should see them like the elephant in the room. So the reason why I like the New Zealand is because you can see the elephant in the room. Okay, this big down candle, that's an elephant. Okay, so that means there was a lot of buying here, and the confirmation is what you're seeing there. Okay, so when they buy, it needs to confirm. right? And I like British pound as well. If they're able to go above it, this is their elephant and then their confirmation. But we would like to see British pound do the same thing as the New Zealand is doing, which is going above that weekly high. If we do, then that was an elephant in the room buying. Okay. Okay, so let's go to gold. I think this morning I was watching Hash. I watched a few bit because I was just waking up and doing my meditation. So I couldn't join. The time he does his session, that's the time I do my meditation. So sometimes I might be able to join, sometimes I won't. But when he was doing the session, that was the exact time that was everybody should have been buying. So when he was talking about it going up, I was just watching and thinking, I hope everybody's buying. But I couldn't join the session to, announce that he's he's actually seeing something that I'm seeing. Right. So basically price retraced to a decent level for a buy. So if I measure the range, okay, it was actually at where I would want to buy, which is this area. Okay, it's OTE, and that is a perfect level for price to reverse. I also had this last up candle in here. So everything was showing that price was gonna go up when he was doing the session. Right. Now from what I'm seeing, I think we should be going back up here. The only problem is this candle, this up candle. If they can close above it, then I will be expecting them to go for the previous week high. Now, last week I did mention that I don't want to give anything because it's not looking great, but looking at just this range, okay, I'm just looking at just here because sometimes you can look at price action because price is fractal. You can look at price action and then pick just a small portion of price and then ignore everything else. Okay. And this small portion actually makes sense after the pullback. So when we pull back here, then because this is a low and this is a high, price will likely trade inside the range. This is a concept ICT taught a very long time ago. It calls it inside the range. When price is trading within a range, just focus on that range. So since we are inside this range here, you focus just here and then ignore everything else. And since inside the range, the whole idea is if price is above a high, then price is likely to go back and attack the high. So since price is above a high and is coming back inside, then price is likely to go back and attack the high. That's why today I like gold to go up. So if you bought, then great. If you didn't buy, then hold on because the right level to be buying is gone. Right now, since it's not closing above the H4, it could just be a run above the H4 high and then coming back to this area, just this gap again, and then shooting up. Okay. Whatever happens, I think price should be going up here, unless I'm wrong, and then they will break this law. Okay. So mental stop loss is here. This is where we'll be wrong. As long as price is above this level, price is gonna go to 2.681. Okay, so as long as price is above, and let me go on to the daily and give you some precise levels. As long as price is above this last down candle, right, price is going to go to 2.681, right? So it might, I don't know, but it might come back down. I don't know. If you bought here, then that's fine. Just leave your stop loss, preferably below this last up candle, because we by the time price comes here, then it'll probably go for this low, which I don't think it should do. But if it comes down here, then we are wrong. Okay, so look for price to go up. In terms of entries, if you missed it, then buying below this low and then expecting it to go up there would be ideal, or wait for this to finish, let them go back above it, and then place your stop loss below it and then aim for that. Okay, so it's either you're gonna wait, let them come back down, and then take out those that initially went in, and then you buy to go up, or they might just continue going up. Maybe this is just them buying again. So let them confirm with an up candle closing above it. Then you buy with your stop loss below it and then aim for this high. Okay. So that will be gold for you. So the upside level is again 2.681. All right, let's go to, let me talk about New Zealand CAD, because I think I mentioned this is my favorite for this month or this quarter. And you can see, again, elephant in the room, right? They were buying in here. So the confirmation is showing gradually. And this candle is going to go and attack this high. And if we do, we can project that to the upside and then aim for this candle's low, which is 0.82148, right? I'm already in. I actually got in this morning. So I got in here. So the same thing. When you want to trade smart money, just understand how they buy and how they sell. Okay. They buy with down candles and they sell with up candles. That's it. It's very, very simple concept. Buying with down candles and selling with up candles. So if you want to buy, just wait for a down candle to print, let them go above it and then buy. If you want to sell, let them print an up candle, go below it, and then you sell. So I got in with this candle with a stop loss here. Okay. And it's just about taking risk. You just have to take risk, which as a trader, if you don't take risk, you don't get anything. Right. So if you understand it, like I was showing with gold, once gold closes above that down candle, do the same thing. You just take the risk. Because once you understand what price is trying to do from a high time frame perspective, then the lower time frame is just gonna follow the higher time frame. So if I'm right, this will never come down here. If I'm wrong, it will come there and then I'll be out. Okay, it's as simple as that. So from the high time frame perspective, I think I don't know. From the high time frame perspective, I think we'll be going above this high and then trading to this candle's low. That's once we close aggressively, which I think that should be the case. And then we'll be looking for even higher prices. But for now, let's just aim for that. Okay. And let's go to crude oil. So crude oil, they've actually attacked the 74.45 level, which is this monthly high. And that's the one that I was talking about last week, that they were likely to go and attack it. Now, since we are in January and I said the seasonal suggests that price is going to go higher, I think we will continue going higher. Okay. This whole consolidation down here, and that's one thing that I've realized when it comes to smart money. They can buy when price is consolidating like this, or they will manipulate, because consolidation most of the time is in of itself a manipulation, because it's going up, then going down, then going up, then going down. Okay. So I think this is a long-term accumulation and we might be going up. The actual level to be confident that they're going up will be here. Once they breach this, then this high and this high will be the next upside objective. If we breach 78.46, when we close above this 78.42 level, oh, sorry, 46 level, then we will aim for this high and this high, just 84.52 and then 87.67. That's once we close above 78.46. Okay. Now, the way I trade, when this candle closed, to me, this week's supposed to do the same thing. So this week, I'll expect higher prices, right? Because if we were going down, then this candle shouldn't have done that. There should have been some form of a rejection. So how candles closes is very, very important. If they close near the high, and so pay attention. If they close near the high, it's a sign that price is bullish. If they close far away from the high, then something is happening on the lower time frame. Okay, so when price closes near the high, it means that it's likely going to continue going up unless we are at a turning point. So if price is, let's say, coming up here in a pullback and then it closes near the high, then it could be a turning point and then price will go down. Okay, but if we don't have such scenario, then, and then the other scenario is when we are trading above a high. So if you have something like this, and then price is trading above this high and we close near the high, sometimes depending on the level, it could be turning around. We don't have such scenario here right now. That's why I think price is going to continue going up. So this week, I'm bullish on crude oil. Hence, dropping down to the lower time frame, I would want to think the buy is already done. There you go. So buying with the stop loss below the down candle. That's it. Okay. Now, in terms of targets, we have this for day trades. We have this level. So let me make it a box. Here. So that will give you 75.08 for a day trade, right? We want to see price reach for 75.08. That would just be for the day. So if I'm buying today, that will be my target for today. And then I'll wait tomorrow and see. Because where we are now, it can't do anything. But since I'm bullish, I'll take it one day at a time. I'm not going to buy and hold where we are. Because buying here, you are exposing yourself to all this. Because the last down candle is there. So if anything happens, it can pull back and then continue going up. So short-term trading not allowed where we are. Okay? Only day trade and scalps is allowed to go to this level,
And
which is
if I may, do you mind if I mention something as well?
yes.
For anyone who's like a new trader and you're just getting into this, keep in mind that there's like overnight rates, swap rates as well. So if you're taking positions in any of this stuff and just jumping in, and you have a small account, you're very likely to experience some drastic volatility at some point, and it's highly not recommended to just be jumping into these more advanced pairs.
Okay. That's a nice one. Yes. If you are long-term trader or short-term trader, even a swing trader, you need to consider swap fees. And then overnight, sometimes maybe not the futures, especially oil, but other pairs like the New Zealand card that I was talking about, it can get pretty crazy towards the end of the day because they can widen their spread. And if your account is small, you might get taken out. It's happened to me several times in the past.
Me too.
I'll take a position and then they'll close me out for no reason, especially if you're trading funded accounts. Those are crazy ones. Their spreads are just ridiculous, but we'll find a way around them. Don't worry. So yeah, crude oil, we're looking for 75.08 for today or even up to tomorrow. And yeah, we will take it once we get there, then we'll see what price will give us going forward. Okay. Um, the next one, let's go to the cryptos. Go to cryptocurrencies. Okay. I think Solana is first. So let's look at Solana. And I think pretty much if you've been following along, I said Solana should go back to 264.63. I still stand with that as the next upside objective. And I like this candle, right? Now, last week I did teach something what an inside candle is and what should happen when they create an inside candle. So they took out the inside candle's low into this gap because when they create the inside candle, it creates a gap. And the next candle should be taking out that low and we should expand up. So we can project, if you are day trading, you can project these two down candles and then aim for 221.09, 223.67, and then 226.52. Okay, you can project them and then aim for that for day trade. So if today closes as it is and you're long, aim for this for tomorrow, depending on when we get there. So it's not going to be one day. I wish it would be one day. You never know. Cryptos is crazy. It can be one day and then zoom. It gets all of that. So just do what you do best. If you have a strategy that you use to trade on the lower time frames, then you can use that to get in. If you don't have, then use the very simple one that I've just discussed here. Wait for a down candle to form, let them close above it, and then buy with your stop loss below it. Okay, and then you aim for those upside objectives. You can use I don't like the 1 hour, but if you are the type of person that likes trading lower time frames, 1 hour is not bad. I prefer H4. If I'm going to trade the 1 hour, I like it like this. This is the type of candle I like when I'm trading the 1 hour. When they close above it, then I'm confident I'll buy and leave my stop loss below it. So if I had bought here, or if you understand what I'm saying, then buying this down candle and then aiming for those upside objectives. All right. Let's go to Tatsuo. Now, if you look at Tatsuo, I think it's a pretty interesting story developing on it, right? Last week, I said that this is not how smart money comes in the market. This is not how investors comes into the market. When they do, it should be an elephant in the room. And I said they are likely to come back. So if you want to buy here, and it came back there, and then big projection. That big candle is what you want to see when price wants to go up. So with that big candle, I also mentioned that when they do, it should create a gap. And it did here. Now it's a sign that smart investors are coming. So anything coming back down will be a pullback, and then you want to see expansion. So now the mental stop loss has changed from here to there. Okay, we do not want them to come back below this low. Why? Because the last time they stepped in was here. Let's start from there. That was the last time they came in. big move with a gap. When was the next one? Here, big move with a gap. So when is the last time? There, big move with a gap. So now this is where you're going to be placing your liquidation. Okay, we don't want them to come back below here. So from here, we want to see them create another big move with a gap, right? Once they do, then we will shift our mental stop loss to there. Until then, this is where your mental stop loss should be. And we should be aiming for this high. For day trades, I think on the one eye is really, really good. I think the actual entry is gone. So one simple entry technique is just anticipating OTE, a retracement back to 0.618 to the 0.79 retracement level. And that should have given you another trade idea to take you higher. And then there was another one here in terms of entry between this high and this low, retracement back to OTE. So right now we should be aiming for 0.01933, and then the main objective will be 0.2, 0.02000. And then from there, we should continue going higher, which is this previous week high. That's where I'll be expecting them to go. So the previous week high will be 0.0254. That's where, as long as this low is intact, meaning as long as they don't go below this low, this is the level price you reach for, 0.0254. Okay, so that's it for Tattoo. Let's look at AI. AI is also very interesting. I think we also developed a story around this last week, that this down candle is meant to be buying now. They've actually taken 3 down candles for the buy. Okay, and I also mentioned that the buy, if you want to buy, look at from this up candle and below. That's where you want to buy. And the reason why I was saying that was because this was the range. This was the OTE level, and OTE is between the 0.618 to the 0.79 retracement level. That zone is where you want to be buying. It's a very, very simple entry technique taught by ICT, the man himself. Okay, so that's why I was mentioning you want to buy from this candle's high and below, and then you'll be aiming for higher prices. Now, I like the fact that they've used 3 candles, because that gives us like more room to the upside. We can do that projection, because 1 down candle is good, but 3 is way better. So if we project that to the upside, now that is giving us 3.143 as an upside objective. And then partial will be at 2.8734. Okay. Now, how do we get there? Because it's all fine that, okay, it's coming back down. When will we get confidence that it's going to do that? From the daily perspective, I expect them to go above this down candle and then turn it into a green. Now, in future, those that will be in the portal, you will get access to this indicator that will give you my type of candle when it turns green. So once we close above this, this will turn green, and then that will be your confirmation, it will be reaching for that level that I gave, which is the 3.1465. So for confirmation, we want them to close. Even though if you're buying, you should be in by now. This will be the actual confirmation. Okay. Now on the H4, this whole move to the downside was a buy. So if you are day trading, you can project that to the upside and then target these levels for day trades. But if you want to buy and hold, then obviously aim for the upside objectives that I have given, right? And I like the fact that price is rejecting. I think within this 1 week, I've thought very small, but a lot. They rejected with a fair value gap, which is very nice. Price has come back into it and it's rejecting. So we will be expecting price to go higher. Okay. So that is AI for you. Let's look at hype. So with hype, I'm still not convinced we are going up yet. 26.78 will be the confirmation. Once we breach that, then I think we will resume going higher. As long as we are below 26.78, I think we'll be coming back down to this area, which is 21.222. Okay. As long as we are below 26.780, price should be trading to 21.201. That is where I'll change my bias. Until then, I'm still off for the downside. So on the H4, this is currently the range, this high to this low. And if you're using OTE, you can see that we've come to the 79 retracement level, and I'll be expecting them to reject. I don't think this is how big money comes into the market. Okay. I've seen their footprint, and this is not how it looks like. Now they can go on the daily basis. Even on the daily, this is not how they do it. So I'm not fully convinced. Unless they want to go on the weekly basis and then give a big up candle trading above this, then we can project the two down candles to aim for higher prices. But until then, I'm still not convinced yet. So from the daily perspective, I still want to see price come to 21.20. Entry wise, I personally, I wouldn't take a trade on this right now. Okay, it's either they breach this and then I'll look for a buy, or they'll come down here and then I'll hunt for a buy down there. Where we are now, I won't take a short because it's too bullish. From the monthly perspective, it's bullish. From the weekly perspective, it's bullish. Okay, so because of that, I'm not selling it and I'm not buying it right now. Okay, so I want to see them come here, and then I buy, or they breach here, then I buy. Here, not great. Let's go to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I still think, so last week I gave a level, which was this imbalance, and that up candle for price to reject and come lower. It did struggle, and currently it looks like it's going up, but I'm not fully convinced. Again, I've seen smart money footprints. This is not how it looks like. So unless I'm 100% convinced that they will go higher in terms of closing above this down candle, that's when I'll be convinced. Until then, I'm still to this low. Okay, it might give one up candle and then this will take out this high and then reject. So I'm fully not convinced yet that Bitcoin is going higher. You might, think otherwise, and that's absolutely fine. But from my perspective and the way I look at price, I'm not fully convinced yet because these candles are too shallow. Okay, it needs aggressive candles like this to take price higher. This is too small, and smart money does not play with small candles. It needs to be aggressive candles, right? So they might probably take out this high, which is 99,887, and then reject. So be careful here where we are now. Just be careful, because the way price is going up, I don't like it. Now, let me give you a clue as to when you want to be buying. When price is going up, if it's bullish, you want to see at least 3 or 4 up candles and then maybe one down candle, and then price resume going up. When it's all one directional, okay? When it's all one directional, green, I'm sorry, blue, 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 you need to be careful, okay? Steady how price move. When it's going up, it needs to go up maybe 2, 3, maximum 4 up candles, sometimes 5, but 4 up candles, and then one down candle. The down candle is just for them to buy again, or it will come into a pullback, something. It shouldn't be all pure one directional. When it's all pure one directional, something is up, right? You need to just be on the watch, because it takes just one candle to wipe all those up candles out, like this one here, right? 2 up candles, and then this wipes all of them out. The reason why, again, I'm saying what I'm saying is because this is blue, this is blue, this is blue, this is blue, that is blue, that is blue, that is blue. That is not good. Okay. They want to lure everybody into the slaughterhouse and then maybe kill them off. So just be careful. If we had printed maybe a down candle in here and then they went above it like Solana is doing here, right? 1, 2, 3, and then 2 down candles, then that's great. But if it's all up candles like that in this situation, then I'm not convinced we are going higher. Okay. Sometimes I might talk a lot about why I'm expecting what I'm expecting, but I just need everybody to understand why I'm expecting that. And it's based on experience. Okay. It's not me trying to tell you not to do something. I'm telling you based on experience. Okay. So that's Bitcoin for you. I'm not convinced you're going now. When we were down here, buying to go up in there was all good when we were down here, right? Buying to go up here was all good, but now you need to be off. It didn't give me a confirmation for a sell. I think the last time we looked at it, I was saying, watch this down candle. Had we gone below that down candle, then we would have looked for the sell, but that didn't happen. So I'm still sitting on my hands. If I trade Bitcoin, I'll be sitting on my hands right now. There are other better coins out there to focus on. Ethereum. Now, I think if you have been following, I said they'll be going for this high, and then as soon as they go above it, I will want to see them reject. On the daily, they went above it with a big candle. Again, just learn a little bit. They went above it with a big candle, so it was understandable that the very next candle should be up. Had they gone just above it and rejected, then you will look for price to go down. But since they went above it with this aggressive candle, then it's understandable that the next candle should be an up candle. And I think we had our last session on Friday, so I was not here on Saturday and Sunday. But had we been here on Saturday, Then on the lower time frame, this whole move to the downside, that was a potential buy for a day trade to go up, right? So am I convinced we are going higher? It depends on how this candle is going to close, because this is a down candle. So if they go above it, then they will trade inside this gap. So if today closes above the down candle, then you'll be looking for price to trade to 37622, 62, 3762.87. If today closes above this down candle, which is yesterday's high, then you aim for potential buy to go to 3762. That'll be the only target that I can give for now. And the reason why is we do have a high resistance here. Price taking out this high and rejecting, that's a high resistance. So we have this as our breaker. If you don't know about ICT concept, you will learn a little bit more. So this becomes a breaker and this becomes a fair value gap. If we don't reject the breaker, we will reject the fair value gap. And the reason why I was looking for them to go just above it and drop down is because we had that breaker there. Okay, now they've gone above it, so they might go for the fair value gap and then the movement down that I'm expecting. We are not going up yet, so if you are bullish, just put that bullishness for on the sidelines for now. Okay, for me to be bullish, I know that might be crazy, but they will have to go above this high for me to be bullish on Ethereum again. Okay, so as long as we are below as long as we are below 4,106.71, I'm bearish on for the, I'll say short term to medium term. Long term, I think we'll go up, but short term to medium term, I'm bearish. I'm looking for them to go and attack 3.097.65. Okay, so long term, we will go up, but short term to medium term, I'm expecting them to go down again, and it might happen here, or probably where we are now, preferably here. Okay, so keep an eye on 3762.87 level. You might just dip in and then reject. And then finally, let's go and look at think this cake. If let me ask this first. Is there any questions from the audience, Mr. Igor?
I think for today we'll hold off on questions just because I know that you have some personal things to attend to. So let's just and I'll do a quick little message at the end, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay. We still have about 15 minutes to go. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. I can field it. Just give me a moment. Let me see. Checking the chats. I'll have to wait. There's a bit of a lag on the stream for going live. So if anyone heard that, if anyone has any questions and you're on any of the chats, just drop it in. Taking a look right now. So far, not seeing anything, but I do see that there are viewers on. So yeah, feel free to ask questions anytime. Post them, we'll answer them in the next session.
All right, cool. Awesome. Okay. So cake USDT. I think we should be going up, but I don't like this. This is too, yeah, it's lagging. I don't like buying. I like buying when it's exploding to the upside. This is too shallow for me, right? So I would want to see maybe a clean run to take out longs and then a rejection. That is when I'll be confident in buying if I was to be buying cake. For investors, I think the entry was when we started doing the live sessions. I think from the first, we were somewhere here, right? That was when, as an investor, you could have been in, but where we are now, price has already moved away. Now, what I want to see is a clean and then a run, okay? Because that will mess up anyone that is bullish. When it drops, it will mess up anyone that is bullish, and then we go back up again. From the high time frame perspective, I mentioned that from the weekly, we should be coming back up here. As long as we are above this down candle, we should be coming back up here. Okay. Now, in terms of entry, I personally don't have one unless this low, that's our mental stop loss on the H4. If you want to be a buyer, that'll be your mental stop loss. This is the high, this is the low. I think the entry is gone. That's OT, nice entry. And then price is going to that level. That will be for day trade. But for long term, I don't think you have an entry if you missed the initial entry during the beginning of the year. Okay, so if you want to buy maybe a run below this low and then a continuation like Tatsuo did, if you want to do that, then look for a run below that and then buy. All this is not nice. They can wipe them and then go up. So for day trades, target could be 2.93. The next one is, what's that called? ENSU. I don't know what that is, but it is a pair. That is your range. It's not bad for entry for day trades or even short term. We could be attacking previous week high. I like the move away from this down candle. Okay, so all of that is just pullback. Still not bad area whereby, and then you aim for 38, 38.58. That would be your next upside objective for day trades. Long term, I think I said I don't like where it's trading. I would like to see it come down a little bit more before the buy. Okay, long term, I don't like where it is. Maybe a movement down a little bit more before we buy to continue going up. But it's actually bullish. So it'd be nice to keep an eye on it. Now, if they go above this high without coming deeper into a pullback, then yeah, this is nice to go up. Probably 76.06 and then 83.50. But where we are now, that will not be the ideal entry for those targets. Unless we breach this, then you can start looking for a buy or just day trade it until we come back down into a bigger pullback. And then the last one was this Phantom. I think Phantom is not bad. Okay. So Phantom, we had traded into this last down candle on the weekly. I said, as long as we are above that, we should be going back up. Last week ended up as a rejection below this week's low. The daily did give a rejection, leaving a fair value gap, which is nice. Hence, we might be pulling back to continue going higher. A buy below that low would be ideal. Let them sweep this low. Now, a question will be, where would the mental stop loss be? Will it be here or will it be there? Um, the move away from this low to go above this high. This is classic ICT. When price makes an impulse like, especially when it pulled back, if the pullback did not get to, I don't want to get too technical. If it did not get to an actual level that is it was meant to get to, because pullbacks, when price pulls back like this, okay, most of the time, it's not random where it reverses to continue going up. The level that price reverses most of the time is logical. That's why it will reverse at that level, right? So when the pullback does not happen, let me draw them again. When the pullback, okay, and the continuation does not happen at a logical level and then it goes up, it will come back down to sweep the low and then it will go up. I think that's similar to what, again, Tatsuo was doing, right? Because the pullback did not get to the logical level. Hence, it will come back and sweep the low where the most buyers came in because it did not trade to maybe the OT level, or again in future I'll talk more about where it will reverse from. If this is where it's meant to reverse and then it reverses here, if it starts coming down, most of the time it would take out this low and then reject and go, especially when price is reversing in a downtrend. When we are in a downtrend and we have the initial reversal, you might see something like this. And then price will now create that mental stop loss. So this is our mental stop loss, not this one. And the reason is what I've just explained. This did not reverse from where it needs to reverse from. It needed to come down a little bit more. So if you want to buy, wait for this low to be taken and then let them go up. Okay, so that will be it, I think, from me.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. I sit here and I take paper notes.
Price is awesome.
Uh, and yeah, so we could address any questions that come in tomorrow's session. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna uh, do a little bit of a recap on a couple of things.
Okay.
It'll take me about a minute. Would you mind just putting my camera on,
Yeah,
just to make
sure.
it? Thank you. So I just wanted to remind everyone that we are starting a fundamental session as well. And what we want to do is we want to speak to project owners, whether they're exchange listed companies or tokens listed on any exchanges, and discuss their projects, especially if they're verified and only verified. And that goes for any startups, sustainability projects, anything in the decentralized space. We want to talk to you. We want to discuss your projects, especially if you're making some really cool things, interesting things. We want to support you. So please reach out either to DM at ForexLens, DM me on my personal at Microsoft on X, and we'll get that set up for you. So also, SP DOS is back at 11 a.m. in just a couple of hours to do New York session part two. And he's going to be looking more at the indices at Dow, SPX, and the dollar index just to see what the continuation looks like from London session. And of course, we'll be combining all this in an overarching market narrative for you in the new TLDR style that we're going to try today. Instead of doing recaps after every live session, which we will still do in the portal for all the holders, in the near future. But I just wanted to reiterate that that for now we're just going to do an overarching daily narrative after the 11 a.m. session completes every day, and that makes more sense. Everyone gets a big picture of the market, and of course, you can always look at the replays on X, on YouTube, etc. And IT, thank you so much once again for your amazing analysis. Everyone does really appreciate it, and yeah, thanks.
My pleasure. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same
All right,
time.
take care. Bye.
All right, take care.